Everyone. How's everyone doing this evening? Or not evening, it's the afternoon. I'm a fucking moron. Anyways, happy Halloween, Jacob.
Thank you, you too. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, hello there. It's our Halloween special, or our starters Halloween special, because we didn't think this much when we first started. We just started this, okay? Don't judge us.
Yeah, we're still getting on our feet.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, we're doing A Quiet Place Part 2. So we did think of it a little, but again, we're still moving along. How are you doing today, Jacob?
Really good. I'm doing really good, actually. I went and saw Dune yesterday, which I really liked. I thought it was masterful.
Yeah, I know. But yes, I want to see it too. Like I said, I've been kind of fence sitting, but I've heard it's good, and you told me it was really good, and I trust your opinion, so I might go see it. I'm hoping to see you next Saturday, but my dad's like I might be doing stuff, so I don't know. But yeah, I've been spending a lot of time like rewatching old TV shows like Star Wars: The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Now I'm rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender. Because why not? On Netflix.
Wait, the good one?
Yes, the good one.
Okay, good.
The animated version.
Thank God. Yeah, the best one instead of that shitty Shyamalan movie.
Oh my god. Oh, man. But anyways, we're talking about Quiet Place Part 2 today because because of Halloween and horror movies, and I like this movie. We like this movie. But
yeah.
We've had some technical difficulties, so this is like our fourth time we're doing this, so
Yeah.
but yeah, I already asked you that. But Jacob, what'd you think of A Quiet Place Part 2? We talked about the first one yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. What the What'd you think of this movie, Jacob? Your like little blurb thoughts before we get into this.
I thought this movie was excellent. It is another nerve-wracking and suspenseful thriller. Krasinski has made what I think is one of the better horror sequels I've seen. This is exactly the kind of movie I want it to be.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's just one of those movies that it's just one of those movies. It just follows it just takes from the momentum of the first movie and just runs with it. It's beautiful. It's just, you know.
Indeed.
But yeah, Krasinski once again shows that he is a competent horror director. I'm probably short selling. It probably sounds like I'm short selling him, but I do like this movie. I promise. But yeah, this movie was really good. This film stars Krasinski's wife in the real world, Emily Blunt, Cillian Murphy, who's probably the show stealer in this movie, but again, we'll get to that. Millicent Simmonds comes back again, and Noah Jupe, and John Krasinski, and the guy who was dicking with Star-Lord, and he was Black Panther before Chadwick. His name's Djimon Hounsou. That's the guy's name. You're probably like, who the fuck is that? Look at his face, you'll probably recognize him, okay? That's all I'll say on that matter. Also, Scoot McNairy's in this movie for, like, a minute.
Literally.
Also, like, Djimon Hounsou's in this movie for, like, a minute as well, so it's like, you know, people die in this. That's not funny. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. It basically does what I want sequels to do, which is just continue taking the movie. Fuck, hold on, I just lost my train of thought. Take the momentum that the first movie had and just run with it, and just make it continue the suspense and
exactly
the thrills, and also expands the world, which makes the world more interesting, makes it feel more real. Not that it wasn't real in the first one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted Krasinski to do with the movie. Just expand the world instead of like, oh, more explosions and all that shit.
There are a couple explosions in this movie.
not like a Michael Bay.
Well, no, of course not. But I think there's only like 1 or 2 explosions in the movie, so I think we're fine. But yeah, I got my cherry water, or Clear American, very good. I recommend it. I was not paid to say that. I think Jacob has his water.
Yeah, got my water right here.
All right, let's get into this. So quite. What'd you say?
I said that let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this movie basically follows the first movie almost exactly, except for a flashback at the beginning of the movie, and it follows Evelyn Reagan and Marcus Abbott, played by Emily Blunt, Millicent Simmonds, and Noah Jupe, respectively, yet again, as they attempt to survive this very strange apocalypse where these aliens, known as Death Angels, who have very sensitive hearing, if they hear you make a noise, they'll come after you and kill you very swiftly. It's bad. Oh yeah, they also have a little baby with them. I forget that. But yeah, basically this movie just follows where the first one left off, minus the flashback. So, you have any remaining thoughts before we dive into this?
Yeah. What's interesting about this movie is that Krasinski wasn't initially didn't want to do a sequel. He wasn't planning on doing a sequel, but Warner Brothers came to him and he thought some ideas about it, and he's like, you know what, a sequel. Let's make it and make it what people want it to be. Another nerve-wracking movie, but not making it a bigger, better movie. Not in the cliched way. It is bigger in ways, but not that cliched route to it. But
yeah, it's not like Terminator 2.
No.
Though, nothing wrong with Terminator 2. It's a great movie. But, even though I like the first one more. But I'm getting off topic. But yeah, this movie's great, for the most part. I don't think I had any problems with it when I saw it. Just, maybe, some bits with Noah Jupe. He's just still fucking terrified. But, he just has that resting, scared face throughout the movie. I don't know. But that's really nitpicky, so... But yeah, really, I don't have a lot of issues with this movie.
Me either. I only have one big problem if I had to pick apart the movie. But overall, I think I might like this one a tad bit more than part 1.
Yeah. I don't know if I like this one more. I think they're both pretty equal standing. But you know what? I think I agree with you. I kind of like this one more. It kind of expands on everything without it being over the top or ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when I saw the end of this movie, I'm like, ah, shit, I want to see 3 now.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for part 3 now.
Yeah, exactly.
If the sequel's able to do that, then good job.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, room to make another one, but if you don't need to, that's fine. Though I do think it's funny, John Krasinski's not that interested in horror. Makes a good horror movie. And he's like, I don't want to do a sequel. Makes a really good sequel. So I just thought that was funny.
That's pretty funny.
He is a comedian after all. Wink, wink. Or he's not really a comedian, but he's mostly well known for funny movies. Or not funny movies, but he's well known for comedic roles, and he's pretty good in those. And then he's now doing these, and I'm sure he's doing other things. I don't know. But yeah, this movie is I'd say one of the better horror movies in a while, counting the first one as well. Hell, you could probably make a double feature out of this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because they both, it's just one continuous story.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's not like these movies are just very execution based. So the stories are like very simple. Like a character's got to go to this place, they have to pick up this thing. Very simple.
Yeah, take a shot at many times we say it's all about the execution here.
We're making that our motto. All about execution.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So I guess we'll dive into the plot before too long, because that's what we do on this channel. Or what we do on this podcast. I don't know why I call it channel. Well, I post on my YouTube channel, but anyway. So we start in the world before the Death Angels show up, and one of the things I like in this first sequence, the flashback, is the emphasis on noise. I don't know if that was like, I'm sure it was purposeful, but I don't know if they were like trying to make a point out of that, maybe, but you kind of get here's a better way to say it. When the noise happens in the flashback sequence, it's much more noticeable. Like, it lingers on the noise a little bit. What do you think, Jacob? You think I'm getting into tin hat territory?
No, you took the word right out of my mouth.
Yeah, so they're at a baseball game, and, they're all hanging out, basically being normal. I mean, Lee's going to the store to get some stuff. Evelyn and Reagan are watching Marcus play baseball. Cillian Murphy's there. He plays a guy called Emmett in this movie, and we'll get to him more as the movie goes along, but he's excellent in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I gotta give it to Cillian Murphy. This dude just knows how to, like... I hate saying this, but he's like one of those guys, he can just transform himself into... Not like in a method acting way, but he just kind of makes himself look... He just becomes the character, I think is a better way to put it.
Yes. Yes, he does.
I mean, he looks pretty unrecognizable in this movie. I mean, you could tell it's him, but, he's, like, dirtied up and stuff, and, he kind of looks... He looks a little... Not crazy, but he looks a little haggard. That's a good word.
Yeah. I remember when, I watched the trailers, I kind of, took a better look. I'm like, that's Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, exactly. I saw him. I'm like, oh, shit. I know that guy. Yeah, that's Cillian Murphy. He's also in this show called Peaky Blinders, which I haven't seen yet. Don't crucify me. But, ow, shit. But in this, he looks better. He looks clean. He's just kind of... Apparently, Emmett is a friend of Lee's, and he's just kind of... I think his kid's also playing baseball. Is that right, Jacob?
Yes. Yes. His kid's also playing baseball.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wouldn't share it because it's this film just came out. Jeez. Anyway, why the fuck does my Discord keep going off? Anyway, sorry about that if you can hear the Discord. But audience and Jacob. But anyway, so they're watching a baseball game, and they have they're having a good time. They're just being normal, basically. This is like, this is what the world was like before those damned Death Angels showed up and murdered everybody. And it's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up playing baseball, and it kind of gave me some nostalgia back to that time. I actually like playing baseball.
Baseball's pretty fun.
It's fun. It's one of those. It's kind of like golf. It's not fun to watch, but when you play it, it's very fun.
Yeah, exactly. I'll never watch golf or baseball.
Yeah. But if you play it, it's more fun, in my opinion. Anyway. And Emmett's there. He's watching his kid. I think he has his other kid with him. But, you know, he's kind of talking to Millicent. He's kind of doing that thing where when people have, like, some sort of issue, they're like, oh, what does this mean in sign language, you know? He asks, which comes into play later, which I really like in this movie, a little detail, but we'll get more into that. He's like, what does it mean to dive? And then she gives him the sign. It's like a swoop with two hands. And he's like, huh, alright. And then I think he hits it or something, and then suddenly there's this thing that comes from the sky. It's like a meteor. Jacob, you want to take it away from here?
Yeah. So basically, the asteroid comes down, and and that's when the creatures arrive, and people like are starting to like leave, and then that's when the creatures start wreaking havoc.
Yeah, I mean, I like the little details of the scene, like the radios don't work. The radios are going haywire. Everyone's like, oh, look at the news, or whatever, and, like, I think Lee goes to the store, and, like, one of the older people who run it, and which is the same store, by the way, where they got the rocket, and they actually show the rocket, which, again, is a nice little detail.
Yes.
Oh, you forgot about that?
Yeah, yeah, when you just, like, yeah, it is the exact same store where they got that rocket, and their first kid died.
Another thing this movie does pretty well is that they do have Easter eggs in the first movie, but it's not, like, super obnoxious.
No, it's not in your face. Like, look, an Easter egg.
It's like, oh, wow, look at this rocket ship. He didn't, like, pick it up or anything. That would have been really stupid if he just picked it up and, like, huh, and just, like, walked over. Nope, they just show it, and you're like, and they're just like, and they just kind of look, and you're like, you know what it is. I don't think for any like funny moments, I don't think anything beats that old ass man in the first movie just squinching his face.
Like, no, that is still like the most hilarious scene ever.
Also, when John Krasinski's like, he's like, I'm gonna act the shit out of this scene. He's just like, oh shit. Now we're talking about the first one again. Anyway, so Lee's doing his thing. Evelyn's doing her thing, and she's like, man, these radios aren't working. And then the radios start messing up, and then the cop's like, I can't get shit on here on my radio, and Lee's like, oh, and, you know, it's like one of those small towns, everyone knows everyone. The cop walks up to Lee, and he's like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, we're friends, you know, and it seems normal. It's basically like, you know, how we grew up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the cloud thing, this meteor-like thing, just crashes, and then the Death Angels show up and just start killing everybody.
Yep, wreaking havoc, as I said.
Yeah, it's intense.
It really is.
And back to, you know, they just take the ball and they run with it. Like, you know, John Krasinski's like, I'm gonna take the shit I figured out in the first movie, and I'm just gonna run with it. Like, this movie, like, this scene and the rest of the movie is just like a hyper class of suspense.
Oh, yeah.
Maximum suspense, maximum tension.
Yes. The opening scene is fucking riveting. It's one of my favorite opening scenes ever in a horror movie.
Oh, most definitely. Like, you know, Reagan goes with Lee and Marcus and Bo, the little one who died. Bo was the little one who died. They end up going with Evelyn, Marcus and Bo do, and Reagan goes with Lee. So, I'm gonna say a lot. So, they split up, which is always a terrible idea in horror movies, but, you know, like I said, they're not stupid, so, you know. And also, we know they're not gonna die. Which is another impressive thing about this scene. The scene is still pretty intense, even though we know they're going to survive this. Because, you know, Lee died in the last movie, and Bo died in the last movie. And definitely after all this crap happened, so. But yeah, really, really good. Really good. Which, that's impressive, because usually when, like, flashback stuff happens in, like, movies like this, and you know what's going to happen, you're like, oh, this is really deflating, because we know they're going to survive. But in this movie, they're like, no, no, no. We're still going to make it intense. And they succeed, so good work, Krasinski and everyone.
Yeah, kudos to you, Krasinski, and everyone else.
Yeah, like the scene when they're in the car and it's like from the perspective of being in the passenger seat. Oh my god. Heart was pumping, man.
Oh yeah.
Also the scene where they all go into the oh, I don't know what it is. It's like a library or something. It's like a store or something. I don't know. But all those people are huddled up in there, and this like lady's trying to call her mom, and she's all like, "Oh, mom," and and Lee and them, and Lee, again, kind of goes to their resourcefulness. They're both very smart, and they realize pretty quickly if you don't speak or do anything, they won't hurt you. Then the Death Angel comes in once again. Maximum suspense is moving along. And they're just like, it's like coming towards the door, and everyone's all freaked out, and then a phone goes off, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Like, damn.
Yeah, Lee and Reagan deck it out of there, and, Death Angels just start freaking murdering everybody. You're just like, damn.
Like, man, even when we knew what happened, it's still fucking heart pumping.
Oh, yeah, you're just like, oh, fuck, they're just murdering everybody, it's like... Shit. Oh yeah, I gotta give it to this cop. This man is a straight up homie. Okay, he's like, run! Oh, I'll hold it off, and he just starts unloading on it with the shotgun. I'm like, you know what? That guy's brave man. Pour one out for a homie.
Yeah, he's got some balls.
Yeah, he's just freaking shooting at him. And he's like, he knows he's probably gonna die, but he's like, I'm gonna kill him.
MVP.
MVP of this movie is the cop. He's played by I'm not even gonna freaking pronounce that movie, but he's called Ronnie in the movie. But anyway, but yeah, you're a good man. But it's just, but yeah. So that was a pretty great prologue. I mean, what do you think, Jacob? You got some thoughts on this prologue?
Oh, yeah. If they showed it in the first movie, it would have been a completely different movie. We would have been like, oh, now we see how they came in here. But in the first one, we were like, okay, we're seeing how they survive. We know, if you make a noise, then you're dead. In the second one, I love that they showed it in part 2. It's fucking riveting. And as I said before, it's one of my favorite opening scenes ever in a horror movie. Even when we know what's going to happen, it's still heart-pumping. I just love the opening scene.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I was just about to say, I'm glad they waited till the second movie to show when it all started. Because I think if they showed it in the first movie, it would have been fine. But I think the first movie's more effective because it's like, we're already in this. And, they're already in this, and this is how they survive. Just like you said. I think you put it very nicely, Jacob.
Thank you.
And so then we flash forward to, I don't know, I forget what the day is. It's like day 600 something. But, or maybe it's day 400 and something. I don't remember. But, so a long time after this. Basically, it's become a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Their house gets destroyed, so that sucks. After the events of the first movie, Lee died. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for my kids. It didn't really go like that, but but Lee's dead. House is burning down. They're like, shit, what are we gonna do? But they did learn how to kill the things, though. They did learn how you can kill them. So, silver linings.
Silver linings are always there.
Exactly. So, they're like, fuck, okay, what are we gonna do? And once again, just the dread and atmosphere of this movie. Again, you don't always, that the Death Angels, even when the Death Angels aren't there, you can just feel their presence.
Yes, which is what Krasinski does so well with this film.
Oh,
when they're not there, you still feel like they're there.
yeah, like, the fear of them is still, like, very, very present in this movie and in the last one, like we mentioned before. In the movie, like I said, the second movie just runs with what happened in the first movie and just kind of goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, but they did learn how to kill them, so it's not like it's that bad. But the suspense is still there, so that's good. So they don't become, like, invincible. Oh, yeah, we're gonna kill them. Whoop! You know? Oh, yeah, we figured out how to kill him, boy. Let's drop a nuke on him.
Hell yeah.
I'm surprised that, humanity, being as dumb as we can be, we didn't try to nuke these things. But, again, I don't think that would have worked out, because I think their skin's, like, invincible.
Oh, yeah. I think someone explained it as, like, yeah, they have, like, really, like, tough body armor. Unless, if they had the hearing aid, which is their weakness, and there's an open shot to fucking shoot them in the head. That's the only way to kill them. But other than that, they're pretty much impossible to kill unless you know their weakness.
Which, yeah, I thought was kind of funny about the first movie. Is like, oh man, the solution was right under their nose the entire time. But, life is as it is.
Yep.
Oh, man. But, yeah, so Reagan, Marcus, and Evelyn, and the baby. I keep forgetting the baby. Sorry, baby. Did they even name it? I don't even remember.
No, they didn't name it. They were just like, it's a boy.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's like, it's a boy. We'll just call it baby.
Yeah.
Not like Baby Driver.
We'll just call it baby boy, I guess.
Yeah, baby boy. It's Baby Abbott. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. But, the baby. So basically the gang are like, alright, we're gonna figure out how the hell we're getting out of this. So they start walking. And again, oh man, as someone who likes to shower and be clean, like, just watching them walk around in the dirt and be all grimy, it's just like, ugh,
Oh, yeah.
God. It's just like, ugh, like they're walking with their feet, and it's like, ugh. It's like, hope you don't get an infection. You know how unsanitary that is? Oh my God.
Yeah. Especially walking barefoot.
Oh my God. And yeah, you stepped on a dirty ass nail last movie. Like, Jesus. You okay? Yeah. Like, I think I mentioned this in last episode, but fuck, man, that nail scene. Oh God. Ooh. But they have another scene like this, but we'll get to that. It's in a little bit. But, basically they're just hanging out, or not hanging out, they're just walking. They're just, like, chilling. They're just like, hey, we're in the apocalypse, what's up? But, so after the events of the first movie, the house burnt down, I guess, because, it got ruined in the last film. I guess they killed those other two Death Angel things, because they did load the shotgun up, but we never actually saw what happened. You can only assume. But basically now they have a thing. They use that guitar amp, and they put the hearing aid on it, and it makes them frizzle out. So they got that going for them. But aside from that, they're basically on their own, and yeah, it's just tension from this first second.
Oh yeah, like Krasinski once again did not hold back with the sequel, just like he did with the first. Even
though they finally have the weakness, they're still like that constant fear. They're not going all willy-nilly and killing them. Luckily. No. That'd be kind of ridiculous, but I don't think that would have worked in this sort of movie.
Oh no, they also aren't like, oh, we found their weakness. We can do whatever the hell we want. We can make noise. No, like we're still fucking living.
You don't want like 5 of them showing up at once, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh my lord. Oh, my buddy texted me. But yeah. Shit, what was I talking about, Jacob?
I think you were talking about, them, like, still, like, surviving, and, like, them not doing willy-nilly, like, they're still surviving.
Yeah, they're still going, like, they're not, like, going all Rambo on them. Ah, my voice cracked. Excuse me. But, yeah, so they're walking around for a little while. Basically, they've decided we're going to look for other survivors. Even though, in post-apocalyptic movies, that usually is not a good idea. Because, other survivors tend to suck.
Yeah.
But you know what? Evelyn's like, you know what? We found a weakness for these damn things. We can try. We can at least try. You know. Or, you know, I'm sure Yoda would get mad at me for saying that, but you know what? We're in the post-apocalypse, so fuck what you're saying. Anyway. So they're just like, we're gonna find new survivors, and you're gonna like it. And everyone's like, okay. They didn't tell us that, but, so they're walking around, and they find this, like, they find out, I don't know if... Wasn't Emmett the one doing the smoke signs? Or was that them doing that?
I think it was them. I might be wrong, but I have a strong feeling that it might be the other ones.
Okay. Because I knew it was either them or Emmett who was doing making the smoke go off. But, basically, so they decided to go try and find Emmett, because he works at this, like, factory. Again, Lee's kind of like an engineer. He's an engineer. He likes to fix things. We know that from the first movie. And Emmett's the same way. He's good at fixing things and all that. So, you know, they're friends, obviously. So they end up, going. So of course the suspense is already up in the air because of the Death Angels always being around. But then they go to this factory area, fenced off area, and they're like, "Okay, everyone, be careful." And then Evelyn steps on a tripwire basically, and that causes some bottles to drop to the ground. And again, I should mention about these two movies. They're great at escalation. Like, I should just... Like, that's what I forgot to mention last time. They're phenomenal at just escalating the tension to, like, 11. Or I think I did say that.
Oh, yeah. It just, like, keeps, like, getting suspenseful and even more suspenseful. And it makes you even, like, sweat more and makes your heart pump even faster.
I mean, like, here's an example. Just, like, so she sets off the alarm. Fuck, okay, these things might be coming, okay? We might have this thing to kill them, but we don't want to attract them, you know? Because they're still fucking scary. And so they end up running. Here comes the nail. You think the nail scene in the first one was bad? Oh, wait till we get to this moment.
Oh, boy.
Marcus, our poor, scared little boy, accidentally steps on a bear trap, and it just claws right into his leg. You're just like, ooh, shit. I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh my god. No, I didn't audibly say it, but I was like, ooh, shit.
No, my body tightened up. I was like, shit.
It's like, oh, you think this is bad? This is a perfect thing about this movie. You think it's bad? Oh, we'll make it worse. Like, it's just... Oh my god. It's just... He steps on it, and it just... And he's like, he tries so hard not to scream, but he's like, ah, fuck.
Yeah. Like, shit.
And you're like, you know what? I can't even blame you right there. It's that shit had to hurt so bad. It's
and
just,
I thought the nail scene was bad.
Oh my god. And they show it like in detail. It's just like, oh my god.
Like, oh man, shit.
And of course, those fucking Death Angels. One of them shows up, and luckily, Evelyn's like, Reagan, do the thing. And Reagan just slaps the thing on, slaps her hearing aid on the amp. The thing starts going berserk, and then she shoots it, and then, we see through a scope someone's watching them. So that's even, like, more tense. You're just like, oh, fuck. So then they start running around. They free Marcus, thank God. They free Marcus from that bear trap. Just like, oh my God. And then they end up running into this steel factory, I think is what it is. And then Evelyn and them are running. It's all fucking... And then this fucking dirty... It looks like a homeless dude just comes out of nowhere and just, like, covers her mouth and just goes, like... Does the thing that Lee is doing where he puts his finger over his... where his mouth is. He wears a bandana, which I guess he prepared for COVID before we did, but that's besides the point.
He predicted the future.
Yes. But it is, I wouldn't say it's funny, but it's just kind of... Anyway, so he ends up getting them. He tells them to be quiet. And I think another Death Angel shows up, and then it just kind of goes away.
Yeah.
Because it's like, can't hear him. I'm bored.
They're almost someone else.
They're almost like animals. The Death Angels, like they don't really have any like reason to them.
No, they just kill whatever they hear because they're sensitive to sound.
Yeah. But it turns out that this dirty homeless guy is Emmett, and it turns out he's not homeless. He's just hanging out in the steel factory, and he's all dirty. And he ends up putting him into this. He gets into this underground hideout, which is soundproof, so that's nice. And they end up talking, and they're like, "Oh, Emmett, how are you? Oh, what happened to your family?" And he's all like, "They're not here anymore." Jacob, you want to take it from here? Because I need a drink.
Yeah, so basically, Emmett, Cillian Murphy's character, saves them, and then they go into this tank where it's soundproof, as you said, but they can only stay in there for a certain amount of time because oxygen. Mm-hmm. And basically, they discuss Emmett's basically just there's nothing left here. I don't know why you came all the way up here. And they're like, there's more out there that we don't know.
Yeah, basically, she's like, there has to be more out there. And he just kind of gives that line of the jaded survivor where he's just like, man, when you go out there, you'll realize the people out there aren't worth saving. You're like, damn. And then you're all like, damn, that's so deep. But I kid. But, no. Emmett is just not down for looking for other people. He's just like, fuck you guys. I lost my family. I got nothing here. Okay? I want to survive and keep going for whatever reason. Even though everyone I care about is dead. And, Emmett is kind of a sad character because he's just lost everything. And he's just in that kind of position where he's still going, even though he shouldn't be. He's just one of those characters. It's kind of like this other movie I saw called The Grey. Really good, underrated movie, by the way. But,
with
Liam Neeson.
Oh.
But he's kind of like that. He's still going, even though he doesn't have a particular reason that he keeps going.
Yeah. For that reason, you immediately relate to him. And I didn't know that Cillian Murphy was going to have a substantial role. And he gets a lot in this movie. He's a front and center character.
Oh, yeah. He basically becomes like... Oh, sorry.
Oh, I just said he's great in the movie. Go ahead.
I'd agree, but I was about to say, yeah, he basically becomes the protagonist. One of them, anyway, after a little bit. But, basically, so Evelyn and Emmett argue a bit over this issue, she's like, well, we have to go find more people. We can't just sit around and do nothing. And he's all like, man, you don't know what I've seen. Kind of gives that whole thing. But yeah, so... he also doesn't even want to help them. That's also another thing where she gets all pissed off at him, and she's all like, "Well, you don't want to help us." He's all like, "Fuck you." He's like, "You know what? I've lost everything. You guys, I'll help you out for like a day, and then you guys can leave." And they're like, "Oh, boo," you know. It has that sort of thing, and oh yeah. He's like, look, you can stay here and help Marcus because his leg's all fucked up. But after that, you guys leave. And they're like, fine. But,
whatever.
they're like, fine, whatever. Probably not going to do it, but you know what? We'll just say yes. Oh, yeah, they put headphones on Marcus for some reason. I don't know why. But they do.
Oh yeah, I think was just to listen to like one station because there's like one available station. And I think, oh yeah, he was listening to Beyond the Sea.
Ah, yes, and then we get to the next plot point of this movie, which is that Marcus ends up hearing the song Beyond the Sea on the radio, and he immediately just gets up and starts, freaking out. He's like, oh, look at this. Again, he has this, this is such a nitpick. I'm sorry, Noah Jupe, if you ever watch this, but he has, this resting scared face. I don't know what it is, but I guess John Krasinski's, just looks scared the whole time. And it works. I'll give it that. It works, but it's kind of corny to me, a little bit. In a way. I'm again, you're probably like, well, you've never been in an apocalypse, you fuck, but, and that'd be true. But, it's like... a little corny, but, whatever. It's fine. Do whatever you want, man. But, he hears Beyond the Sea, and he gets all excited. He's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I hear a song on the radio. And Emmett's all like, man, this shit's been going on for a few months. And Reagan gets really excited because she ends up thinking that, maybe there's survivors on, another island. Because there's, an island nearby. So she thinks, there could be other survivors, finally. We could find some people. And it's like, no. Emmett's just giving up on everything. He's like, nope, not doing nothing. We're just gonna sit here and die. Yep.
There are no people out there saving.
Which, he probably goes through the most change in this movie. But anyway... I love the song Beyond the Sea. It reminds me of Finding Nemo, which is one of my favorite Pixar movies ever.
Yeah, got a lot of nostalgia from that scene alone.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that movie. I also really like this movie too. But so Beyond the Sea, and she thinks that there's survivors So Reagan comes up with a plan. She's like, you know what? This song's been going on for a few months. Maybe there's other survivors on, a nearby island, because there's an island near where they're at. You know what? She's like, you know what? I'm going to go and try and get my hearing aid up on there. And everyone's like, no, you're not.
Fuck, no.
For good reason, because, it's kind of suicide just going out there by yourself. You're just like, no.
No.
She's like, no, not going. Evelyn's like, look, I see where you're going for, but, you're not going out there, okay? I'm not, look, I've already lost one child to this damn thing. I'm not doing this time. Mm-mm.
Not again.
I gotta say, Millicent Simmonds, once again, just steals this movie, aside from Cillian Murphy.
Oh, yeah. She is, once again, excellent in this movie. And all the people, Emily Blunt can do no wrong. Noah Jupe is good for what he's given. He's really good in the movie as well. Cillian Murphy is fantastic. The reason why the performances are great is because they have to rely on silent communication and visual storytelling, which is really hard.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I've probably seen this is in the recent Matt Reeves' Planet of the Apes movies, which they use a lot of sign language in those movies as well.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. But, yeah, so, but yeah, they use a lot of sign language in this movie, which I really like. It really gives room for visual storytelling that you don't need any words to figure out. It's not going to beat The Green Knight, of course, but, you know.
No.
Still pretty damn good. I had to mention it once. God, I was listening to the score the other day. I'm like, shit, now I want to talk about it again. Even though we spent 2 hours talking about it in our first episode.
We just love it that much.
Yeah. But, yeah, but there's a lot of creative stuff in this movie. So, she's like... Hold on. Let me just think back about this. So, Reagan decides, I'm gonna go out there and fuck you guys. What? Is that it? Like, she's all like, you know what? I'm gonna go out there, fuck you guys. You know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. And you guys wanna come join me? Fine.
But, like, I'm going, and fuck you.
Exactly. Which, you know, you think that not a bad thing, of course, but a little reckless, maybe, because you know, again, the tension throughout this movie, you're like, oh, fuck, don't go out there. I know you're not stupid, but I don't want you to die, because, you know, you care about these characters.
Yeah.
Which is relieving. I mean, it might be a bit of a reckless decision, but she's not like an idiot, you know, which is really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, you get sick of the dumb choices people make in horror movies from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Emmett's like, no. So she decides, like, I don't... So Evelyn's like, no. And Noah Jupe, a.k.a. Marcus, is like, no. I'm not gonna stop you. And Emmett just doesn't really fucking care. He's like, He's like, bro, I got a bear trapped through my leg, alright? Like, I can't stop you.
Like, what the fuck? Like, out of all people, you want to take me after I, like, got caught in a bear trap?
I don't think she even wants to take him. I think he just tells him, hey, I'm gonna go and just tell Mom and just tell her to forgive me later. And he's like, fine. But no. And Emmett just doesn't really fucking care. He's just like, do whatever. Shit.
Yeah, whatever. Not my problem.
Exactly. He's kind of... I think Emmett and Reagan go through the most change in this movie. Not that Marcus and Evelyn don't go through change. Well, Evelyn doesn't really change. Marcus kind of does. But I think Reagan and Emmett get the most development in this movie.
Yeah, they do. Out of, like, all the characters, Reagan and Emmett get the most development and changes.
Yeah, like, they change throughout the story. Like, Emmett starts out as this, like, kind of guy who doesn't give much of a shit anymore, just kind of just wants to die, and then he kind of finds his purpose again. But again, we'll get to that as the movie goes along, even though we're not watching it, as we talk about it anyway. Thank you. So, you want to, again, take it from here, Jacob?
Yeah, so basically Reagan goes on her own, and then Emily Blunt's character, I forget her name, in the movie, her character's name, she's basically like, go out there with her, like, try to find her, and then he's like, no, she's fine, and at a point, he's like, fuck it, I'll find her for you guys, and after that, you're gone. And then he eventually finds her. Reagan actually runs into a bit of a sticky situation. Back to that
tension.
Yep, back to that tension. Once again, again, if this movie wasn't suspenseful enough and nerve-wracking, she runs into another Death Angel.
Oh my God.
And then she tries using a shotgun but misses, and it pisses it. It makes
Just
it even
makes
more
it mad.
like, fuck you. I'm going to kill you in a brutal way. And then Cillian Murphy comes to rescue her.
Yeah, he just, like, shoots it. He's like, oh, that's cool, even though he saw it earlier.
Yeah.
But to backtrack a little bit, I like the scene where Evelyn just tells Emmett, you're going to go out there and you're going to find her and you're going to like it. And he's like, no. Because he's like, fuck you, no. And then he's like, that's what Lee would do. And he's like, fuck it, fine. So he goes out there to go find her. And, so yeah, they end up getting into the train. Reagan is doing her thing. She's trying not to die, and then she gets, like, ambushed by these two Death Angels. And like you said, whew, suspenseful.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you think this movie doesn't get suspenseful enough? Like, you haven't seen anything yet. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy-ass movie. But, yeah, she shoots it. It pisses it off, basically, and it just starts coming towards her, and then Emmett kills it. And he's like, hey, I'm taking you back home, and you're not going to argue with me, okay? Because your mom is going to get pissed off if I don't come without you. And she's all like, no, I got to do this. And they have a little argument, and she's like, well, why don't you come with me? And he's all like, man, no, I just agreed to take you back to your mom. She's like, no. Then they start, and then she's all like, well, what about your wife? And he's like, don't fucking bring up my wife. Which is very great acting from Cillian Murphy. I keep calling him Cillian. Cillian Murphy, because he's just like, he really sells that this is a very sensitive topic for him.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, Cillian Murphy, underrated actor, and he does a fantastic job here.
Oh my God, he's amazing in this movie. And she's just like, look, why don't you just come help me, okay? Like, and he's like, no. And she's all like, well, maybe you can help me in the way you didn't help your wife. He's like, don't bring up my fucking wife. So they argue for a little bit. But then Emmett agrees. He's like, fine. So he goes with her after her son. I think Reagan and Emmett's relationship is one of the more interesting ones of this movie.
Oh yeah, I agree. Their relationship I really liked here.
Some might say it's kind of like a ripoff of the Last of Us video game, but and you know, I wouldn't say it's as fleshed out as the Last of Us. I don't think the bond's quite as close as like Joel and Ellie from the Last of Us, but
no.
You can definitely see like the similarity though.
Yeah, there are similarities, but like nowhere near as like in depth and like as like very well fleshed out as the Last of Us games. But you know, it's their relationship. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah. There's also this really great scene. I forget exactly what happens. I forget exactly how it happens, but she ends up like he's like, "Hey, you're gonna hide out here, and I'm gonna go out and see what's going on." And then like the next morning, she wakes up and like her stuff's gone, and like it's just back to like Millicent Simmonds being a phenomenal actor in this movie. She just has a breakdown because you know, and it's so great because she thinks that it's great visual storytelling. 2021 has just been a great year for visual storytelling.
It really has. It's been a great year for film.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, but yeah, it's like heart-wrenching seeing her just kind of have this breakdown, and you feel what she's feeling in that moment. She just feels like everything's lost. We're fucked. I can't believe this guy freaking bounced me, and then he just comes back like, oh hey, what's wrong? Oh yeah, a little barrier in the movie is that a little barrier that this movie has is that Emmett cannot speak sign language, and
oh yeah,
luckily I think Reagan can read lips, if I remember correctly.
A little bit.
So it's not, like, too bad, but that also kind of creates a little struggle.
Yeah.
But he's basically like, I can't speak sign language, I'm sorry. But she ends up teaching him a few tricks, and again, we'll get back to that in a minute. But hold on here. I think I've lost my train of thought. Jacob, do you have any thoughts to add?
Oh, yeah. Where were we at? Oh, yeah. The scene where Emily Blunt's character, I keep forgetting her name once again. Her supplies are gone.
You can just call her Emily Blunt.
Yeah, because I'm not going to, like, go out of my way to remember their names. I always call them by their celebrity names. Emily Blunt, her supplies are gone, and she's like, fuck.
Yeah, that definitely happens. She's like, fuck. Gotta go find some. And Marcus, the little scamp, he kind of goes through his own arc in this movie. Because he doesn't want to be by himself, which is understandable.
Yeah.
He's like, Mom, don't leave me. And he literally climbs up with his hobbled foot. Which, God, that had to be painful. He's like, Mom, don't leave me. And she's all like, look, I promise, I'll be back. And
you're splitting up once again.
Yeah, splitting up once again, which is always a bad thing in these movies.
Always.
Always leads to bad things happening. But hey, you know, it's not like they're being it's not like they're being morons. They're just like, she's like, look, we're out of supplies. I gotta go get some, okay? Like, you know, you gotta get some for your foot. We don't want it getting infected, because then it'll be even more pain, and that's gonna suck. So we don't want that. So I'm gonna try and get some stuff. And of course, Marcus, terrified, he's like, no, don't leave. And then she's like, I gotta go, my son. And he's like, no. Okay. And he goes down. He's like, and I think she promises to be back, and he's like, okay, Mom. And it's really touching, you know. Yeah. It's like a really little touching scene where she's like, I promise I'll be back. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, and she goes off, tries to buy some supplies, and then he's down there just listening to radio, I guess. I don't remember.
Yeah, this is probably one of the only cases where a character is just being kind of dumb. He decides, I'm going to go look around the area. So again, he hobbles up the ladder, hobbles around. It's just like, God, dude, like lay down.
Like, have you not learned?
It's like, lay down. Like, don't get more hurt. But anyway, she just he hobbles around, looks around a little bit, and finds some, it's not mummified, but it's like there's a curtain behind the body. There's dead bodies, basically.
Oh, yes.
So, of course, Marcus, our little brave boy, decides, I'm gonna go, see what that is. It's Emmett's wife, I think. I think it's her corpse.
Oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah, that is her wife. His wife.
Yeah, he gets spooked, of course, as you would. And he accidentally, he of course gets scared, falls over and makes noise, and some creatures runs over to him. Which gets to the third, we're in the second act right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but this is about to get to the third act where everything is just pumped to suspense. And but we're still in the second act though. But Marcus is like, oh shit. So he hobbles again, and he manages to make it, barely, into the underground hideout. And this boy accidentally locks himself into the, damn it, what is that thing? The airtight compartment. And you're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, you're immediately like, shit.
And you know, again, they're not dumb characters. These characters aren't like stupid, but that's probably one of the only times I'm like, okay, that was a little dumb. Don't die. I don't want you to die though. So, anyway. So he starts freaking out. He's like, oh no, shit. He's stuck in there with the baby now. And the baby has a little oxygen system, and you know how babies are, they make anything cute. So you're like, aww.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the baby's fine.
Yeah, lucky bastard.
So yeah, you're fucked.
Then he locks him and the baby up with the thing, and that was probably the most horrifying aspect, because I'm like, oh god, I don't want them both to die. That's a shitty way to go out.
Yeah, oh man.
But yeah, so we're back to Imminent Reagan's adventures in the post-apocalypse. They end up getting to a marina, and suspense again. You know, it's always there, and they end up looking around a little bit, and Reagan, Emmett's all like, he tells Reagan, "Hey, look, you just stay there, okay? I'm gonna look around." So he looks around. I think Reagan gets kidnapped first by these crazy people, but I don't remember.
Yeah, she does. She gets kidnapped, and then Emmett has to rescue her.
Yeah, but he's kind of... Yeah, but she's kind of like sitting around. I think she gets kidnapped. I don't remember exactly, but I think that's what happens. Anyway. So... Ah, shit. So Emmett ends up looking around, and then there's a little child frolicking around, and you're like, ah, shit. Yeah, you're like, oh, damn it. And you're always, of course, the suspense is up in maximum, and we've seen this before. The little kid, like, oh, help me. Don't leave me. And then the guy's like, aw, it's just a little kid. What are they gonna do? And he's like, psych, and then just like stabs you, or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And this situation's pretty similar. Emmett's like, oh, hey, how you doing? And he like tries to like get her to come to him, and then she ends up wrapping him in some chains. Like, what the fuck, man?
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's just like, are you serious? And then like these like creepy people come up. The leader of which is played by Scoot McNairy, who's like that guy who's in like a lot of things, and you're like, oh yeah, that guy. He's pretty good for the most part. Forget about him. He's really good in True Detective season 3. But yeah, they show up and they're like, hey, we're gonna eat you. And they're like, okay. So they're feral humans, basically. Like, they've basically just abandoned anything resembling normal human beings. And they're like, we're gonna eat you, and you're gonna like it. And him, it's like, oh fuck no, I'm not down for this. And it's like, sorry, don't got a choice. We're gonna drown you now. We're gonna go kill you now. And he's like, oh shit. So I think they try to garrot him, I think. Am I right, Jacob?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And, or something, they're like, strangle him, we're gonna take the girl. They're gonna make him one of us. And it's like really weird. It's a really creepy scene.
Very creepy.
It's like, oh gosh. And it's like, this is our marina, or something like that. It's one of those scenes where it's like the creepy evil people. I don't know. But, so, Emmett, yes, this is where the first scene comes back into play. There's a little thing, if you're a writer, or if there's a thing in storytelling and writing called Chekhov's gun, which is basically the idea of if there is a gun mentioned in the story, it should be fired eventually. Same ethos, like in the first scene where Reagan tells him what dive is in sign language. He ends up giving her the little sign of dive, and she's like, "Ah!" And she like dives into the water, and then he ends up making noise, and it's just freaking awesome. I don't know about you, but I love scenes where the good guys end up turning the tables on the bad guys. I don't know, it just always satisfies me when that happens for some reason.
Oh no, I love that. As you like you said, it's very satisfying seeing like the good guys like turn on the bad guys and they're like, "Fuck you, we're gonna fucking kill your ass."
Oh yeah, I mean, I think in like now I'll admit the best like hero gets one over on the villains finally is probably Get Out.
Yeah,
I love that's another topic, but yeah, this scene's pretty good too. He jumps in the water. He I think he drowns the guy who's trying to strangle him to death, and then all the Death Angels show up and start murdering everybody, which is what they're good at doing.
Yep, just wreaking havoc. One.
Again, they're kind of like animals. They just kind of are attracted to some, and they just murder them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like super lion things.
Yeah.
King of the jungle, baby. No, but Emmett jumps in the water and then realizes a minute too late, oh shit, I'm still stuck in this net chain thing. I'm probably gonna die. But then luckily, Reagan shows up in a little like boat, and she's like, "Come on!" and he ends up hopping on. So they save each other, which I think is really nice. It's not like a damsel in distress sort of thing. It's like they both like, we got you, we got each other.
Yeah, we got you.
We got each other.
Wink, wink.
But yes, so they end up rowing away while the Death Angels do what they do best, which is ruthlessly murdering people. But they end up seeing that what we didn't see in the first movie is that they can't swim, which is that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Yeah, it's cool, I guess. I don't know.
I think it works,
Yeah. I would agree on that. It does work.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Signs where, well, I won't spoil that. But, so they end up rowing over to the island. And it turns out, hallelujah Jesus, there's a society of people who are living like normal people. And they're normal, and they're not like murderers or anything. It's cool.
And they're out in the open, just doing whatever.
They're
speaking.
And speaking. You're like, oh shit, you can talk? He's like, yeah, man, we're like a while away from like regular civilization, so they can't hear us. We'll be fine. Or they probably can, but they can't really do anything, so we're fine. Well, don't speak too soon. We'll get to that. But, so Emmett is just in disbelief. He's like, oh, okay. This is weird. I haven't seen this in a long-ass time. And Reagan's happy about it, I think. She's kind of like, you know what? I'm down with this. I gotta go find my family, though. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to hear it, even though my mom's probably gonna rip in my ass for leaving. But that's besides the point. So they end up hanging out, having a good time, And, of course, Reagan and Emmett are just in shock that this is actually real. Emmett more than Reagan. Reagan's more like, ha, told you. And Emmett's like, oh, shit. Like, this is real. It's crazy. But, yeah. So, he ends up there's the guy who leads it, played by Djimon Hounsou of, I probably said that wrong, I apologize, but, he's the guy who played the guy who was hassling Star-Lord in the first Guardians movie. And he was also Black Panther in, like, animated stuff. At least for a little while. He's basically like the guy who leads everything. He's like the guy who leads the island colony group. And he's like, hey. And he basically gives a little explanation where the National Guard attempted to move as many people as possible to the islands when they realized that, they might not be able to reach us there. But apparently only 2 boats made it, indicating that these people are from the 2 boats that did make it. So, or at least that's what I picked up from the scene. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
I mean, that's kind of the thing, and that kind of goes back to the strength of this movie, is that it builds the world more. It gives more dimensions to it. Like, there are more people out there.
Yeah, instead of, like, the remaining people that we've seen so far.
Yeah, except for just, like, 3 people. Or it's like, oh, there's a colony. Yay. You know. But, yeah, Yeah, but it's kind of weird. They all drive cars and talk and set fires and eat and sing Kumbaya and whatnot. It's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, a little nice scene. It kind of draws you away from the suspense.
It's like a calm in the storm. You're like, finally, I can just hang out there, and we don't need to worry about those things anymore. Yay! But again,
we can breathe there. Finally.
So, I think we're about to get to the 3rd act here, but basically, shit is about to go down, because we're in the 3rd act of this damn movie. So, back to Evelyn, Marcus, and the baby. Evelyn looks around, and she's like, stuff. So she takes some stuff. She heads back. And, of course, she's like, oh, no.
No.
There's a death angel running around and blowing shit, or not blowing shit up, but tearing things up. I gotta go in there and save my kid. So that's what she does. What do you think, Jacob?
Where are we at?
Oh, Evelyn returns to the steel factory.
Oh, yeah. And then creatures come by once again. And we get back to the suspense after we were just kind of like taking a breath, because that cozy scene where they're just living life normally. And she goes back to the factory, and then another death angel comes by, and then she figures out shooting the water rail sets off the water, which is another like way to like avoid them because water makes noise.
Yeah. It's like the little waterfall thing they had in their house in the last movie.
Yeah.
Which
and then she shoots a propane tank, setting off fire, thinking they killed it, but of course they have the body armor and it's still alive.
Yeah, it just goes like, and it just like runs around. Kid's like, where is it? Because, they can't see shit. It goes back to that, this movie loves to escalate suspense. Like, not only is Evelyn back in this place, and she's like, oh shit, I gotta go save my kid. And I forgot to mention earlier, another boat got cut off when the Death Angels were busy murdering the cannibal people, and a Death Angel snuck on board. It ends up coming to the island. Shit.
Yeah. Goddamn.
And when Emmett sees that he's hanging out on the island, he's just like, oh, my family. He has this little picture I think his son drew or something. And then he goes through the island, he sees the boats there, and he just comes to like the realization, like, oh no. So he ends up running back over, and then the creature from the boat, of course, can hear them, and now just starts wreaking havoc on them.
Yep, he's like, I found you, motherfuckers.
Yeah, he's like, I've heard you for months. I'm going to kill you now. Yum, yum, yum. But anyway, so again, Death Angels being Death Angels just murders everybody in sight. Of course, Cillian Murphy is running around like, go, run, they're here, run, and everyone's like, what? Like, what's this crazy dude talking about? And then the creatures just start murdering everybody. Like, it is just intensity. It's like the first scene of the movie. It's just intensity everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. It's bad. Not like I was there, but, you know, it was bad. We'll go there.
Oh, yeah. Cillian. No, wait. The black guy, whoever his name is, from Guardians, voiced Black Panther. He hides his kid in a closet, and then him, Emmett, and Reagan, they go off.
Oh, yeah, that's an awesome scene to get in that really cool car of his, and they just, like, drive off and try to lure the creature away. Oh, man, it's so good. I love that scene.
Another suspenseful scene.
Oh, yeah, like the creature's, like, hanging on. And also, I'm kind of heartbroken that they destroyed that car, because that was a nice-looking car. But, yeah,
and you also realize how fucking fast they are as well.
Oh, yeah, like, it's like gaining up on the car. It climbs on the car. It starts hanging off the car. It's bad. Like, yeah. The black guy's like, get in! And then Emmett's like, get in! And Reagan just hops in, and they just start blowing, and then it just gets on, it just starts ripping the thing off. Oh, man. And then if the suspense isn't already that bad, Evelyn gets back inside the area, and she finds a little relief for this moment. She ends up freeing Marcus and the baby, because it keeps cutting back to Marcus and the baby, and they're like, ah, shit, they're gonna suffocate. Shit. And then she's like, oh no. And then she gets the little towel thing they've been showing to not lock themselves in there. And she ends up getting that blanket back so they don't fully shut themselves in. And you're like, whew, for a little bit anyway. But then the creature comes down and it just starts wrecking everything. It's bad. It's like these creatures suck. Like, they just, hate these things.
Like, leave us alone. Like, man.
You've already destroyed our civilization as we know it. Give us a break.
Yeah, exactly. Even though you can't see us, only can hear us, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. And, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that she's like, oh yeah, I gotta go find my brothers and mom, and we're gonna come back here. I'm gonna bring him back here. And the black guy's like, oh, of course, I'll come help you. And she's like, oh, cool. So, yeah. Well, that didn't happen. Also, she's like, oh, did you hear about that radio sound? And I don't remember if they don't know about it or if they were the ones who said it. Do you remember, Jacob?
No, I think, no, they were the ones that said it.
Okay. That's what I thought. So anyway, she's like, hey, I know how to defeat these things. Let's get to the radio station. The black guy's like, oh, okay. So they drive over there after this really intense scene of the thing just crawling up on the car, but they end up barely getting away. And they get to the radio station, and he's like, oh, my children. I need to find my children. I need to find my children, and I need to know if they're all right. And, you know, and Cillian Murphy's like, yo, bro, we can worry about that shit later. And he's like, no, I gotta find my kids, you know, I can't, you know, I'm not doing this. And then the thing, I guess, hurt him, pulls from under the garage and just, like, pulls him out and kills him.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was kind of surprised, because I thought he had, like, more of a prominent role in the movie. I'm like, oh, okay, that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, man, like, he died quickly.
Yeah, I was just like, I thought he was going to be, like, one of the, like, main guys in the movie, but nope. He just dies in a few minutes.
I will say this, at least he wasn't the first person to die, which is like a cliche in every movie. Any minority dies first.
Yeah, every time in one of these movies, the token black guy's the guy who dies first.
Yeah, at least he wasn't the first one. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, yeah. But, he wasn't the first one who died. All those feral people died.
Not the first, like, minority type of person.
Oh, well, yeah. That's true.
Because that's like a cliche in every movie.
Yeah. So Emmett and Reagan are like, okay, fuck. So they run into the radio station, and again, maximum suspense. We cut to them. We cut to Marcus, Evelyn, and the baby. The thing ends up finding the underground shelter and, like, tears its way through, but there's, like, water coming in, so they can hide under that for a while. At least I think so, from what I remember. Anyway.
Yes.
So Evelyn and them try to, like, wait it out, because, you know, they don't want to die. Then it cuts to them. Then they cut to them. And it escalates. And again, this movie just nails escalating the suspense.
Yeah, it goes from, like, an 11.
Oh, yeah. It just goes from, like, 11 to, like, 15 in, like, a couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It gets your blood pumping, man.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh my lord. Like, the hold on, quick. Jacob, keep them busy. Say stuff.
Alright, so, we are, where are we? Oh, yeah, like Britton said, I don't know where he went. The suspense just keeps building and building and building. And as Britton said, it goes from being 11 to 15. Like, the suspense, John Krasinski, once again, does not hold back. We see Emmett's character and Reagan. They go to the cell tower. And then we cut back to Marcus and Emily Blunt's character. And they run into a bit of a intense situation. They both, Emily Blunt's character rescues him from the little tank thing, not tank thing, the place where it's soundproof, the soundproof tank, and then rescues him, rescues Marcus' character.
Alright, I'm back. What'd I miss?
I was just getting to the scene. I was just talking about the scene where Emily Blunt is rescuing Marcus's character.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then, rescues him from the tank because they were losing oxygen. Mm-hmm. And then they run into a sticky situation where the Death Angels find them. And they're both stuck.
Also, back to the just keeps the intensity going, man. Just...
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this movie isn't already intense enough. But Reagan and Emmett end up going into the radio station, and the damn Death Angel thing bursts in and starts crawling around the place, and you're like, oh, Jesus. The intensity, man. I'm about to piss myself. Oh, my God.
Damn it.
Ugh. Good thing I didn't have to go to the bathroom when I saw that movie. That would have sucked.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anyone watches Pro ZD, but he's like, I pee my pants, I'm so scared. You know? No, but, Reagan and Emmett just stealth around the radio station. They're like, oh, fuck. They end up, like, barely getting into the place, and they're like, oh, shit.
Like, fuck.
And then she ends up, like, falling on her, like, stomach, and then you're like, oh, shit, they're fucked. Like,
yeah, like...
But Emmett decides to kind of... It's kind of like getting a bad roll in Dungeons & Dragons, but Emmett decides to try and save it by, like, making some noise. And the thing just, like, slices through him. It's like, damn. You know, I gotta say, in this movie, the violence in this movie looks freaking gnarly. I just gotta say.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
no,
the nail, or the bear trap, or when, you know, Lee in the first movie gets, you know, same thing that happens to Emmett here. He just gets, like, sliced. And he's like, oh, shit.
And you're like, fuck. And the suspense just keeps building and building and building up.
Oh my god, yes. You're like, oh, please get that thing going. And she finds the song that's playing. She finds Beyond the Sea, stops playing that, and she slaps the hearing aid right on it. And you're like, ah, yes, Deus Ex Machina, thank you.
Yeah.
And the thing ends up going berserk. And she finally just gets like this, like, she gets like this, oh, what is it? It's like a rod or something. I forget exactly what it is. I think it's a rod. Anyway, so she gets the rod. She's all pissed off now. She's all hyped. And she, like, runs over to the damn thing and just, like, stabs it right in the head with the rod and just kills it. You're like, oh my god.
Brutally.
Yeah, again, the CGI looks great in this movie. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah. Great CGI.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, you know. Again, I mean, the heights of CGI motion capture is probably the Andy Serkis Planet of the Apes movies, the Matt Reeves ones I mentioned earlier. But I gotta say, I think that this movie has some great CG.
Oh, yeah. Just like we said about the first one, the creature, the angel death designs, it's good CG. We can tell it's CG, but it's, like, really damn good CG.
Oh, yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, you know, it's just... Mwah. I mean, of course, everyone's like, oh, practical effects are better. I'm like, you know what? How do you think you're going to make practical effects of that damn thing, okay? It's like, it's gonna be a little hard. But you know what? They did it with CG. It looks pretty good. So, they kill it. That's what matters.
So, suck it, haters.
Yeah, fuck the haters. But at the Foundry, Marcus finally, like, you know, his balls, I guess, drop because he just gets up, hears that radio frequency of the hearing aids, and he's like, oh, yes. So he gets out, pulls the thing, and just amps that thing right up, and the monster's like, starts going haywire again, and then he just shoots it with his gun that he had.
Yep. And you're like, fuck yeah, Marcus.
You're like, yeah, Marcus, good boy, you know, like, you got it, man, like, good job.
Yeah.
And Evelyn's just, like, sitting there like, oh, okay, cool. I think she's kind of shocked. She's like, wow, he really did it. Yeah, I thought I was going to do it, but whatever. You know, I was not expecting the movie to end here. I'll admit this. Because I thought the movie would end, they'd go back, and they'd get them, and they'd go back to the colony, right? And they all live, like, fine.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
no, it doesn't.
Yeah, that runs into my only big issue. The ending, I felt, was very abrupt.
Yeah, it is very abrupt. But, I do think it leaves room for, like, another movie, like the last one did. It's like
it does.
because you could definitely make a movie about they leave from the colony and they decide to go get Marcus and Evelyn and the little baby, and they that. I think that could be a whole movie if they make like a 3. I think that could be a whole movie.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But yeah, she kind of just leaves the thing on connected to the radio, and then she like goes to help Emmett, and then that's the movie.
Yeah, just
like Jacob said, it's a little abrupt, but yeah.
Other than that, I honestly didn't have any real issues with the movie.
No, not really. Just Noah, poor Noah Jupe. I've been picking on him these last couple of reviews. He's a good actor, okay? Honey Boy, great movie, okay? I gotta say that. I will literally just, I will shout to the moon that, hey, Honey Boy, great movie. But,
Oh, yeah.
The Quiet
Another
Place movie,
also
good. Yeah, that's another movie we should talk about sometime. But yeah, so, yeah, that was A Quiet Place Part 2. Excellent movie, overall.
Oh, yeah.
I think
from beginning to end.
You probably get sick of your parents saying, "Oh, they don't make movies like they used to. All those other all the new movies suck." And watch these old movies. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great old movies out there. But let me tell you, everyone's always complaining about how Hollywood doesn't have any ideas anymore. Well, let me tell you, my friends, A Quiet Place Part 2, it proves that sentiment wrong, in a way. There are a lot of unoriginal ideas in Hollywood. I'm not going to say there isn't. What do you think, Jacob? Give me a bone here.
I mean, nowadays, we live in a world full of sequels, remakes, reboots, sequel, boots.
Spin-off.
Yeah. But we do have, a few really good original movies that are memorable and great. Like A Quiet Place. Exactly. And most of A24 shit.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, we need to talk about more A24 movies.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so A Quiet Place Part 2. Good movie.
Excellent movie.
I'll be right back. You keep them occupied real quick. I have to leave again. This is a weird episode. I apologize, everyone. But yeah, Jacob, keep them occupied. Talk about the movie or something.
Alright, Britton left. I don't know where he went. There is one thing I want to point out to everyone out there who watches this. The thing I love what Krasinski did with this film, and the first one, he doesn't treat the monsters like they're spectacle. He always frames the spectacle within the same image as his characters. Rarely does he ever cut to epic destruction or anything like that. As I said, he frames it within the same image as his characters, which is really great. I love that he's done. I love that a director doesn't show them in one big scene, one big reveal. No, as I said, he doesn't treat them like they're spectacle, which is what I really respect about the Quiet Place Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm back, by the way, but yeah, what he said. He doesn't treat it as spectacle, like I said. The atmosphere is just it's suffocating, no pun intended, because there is almost a suffocation in this movie. It's a great movie. But yeah, A Quiet Place Part 2.
Oh yeah, another nerve-wracking, just as nerve-wracking as suspenseful as the first one.
But yeah, so anytime your parents say there's not enough ideas, not any original ideas anymore in Hollywood, and it annoys the shit out of you like it does to me, we'll tell them, hey, A Quiet Place Part 2, he knows what the fuck is going on. Or both Quiet Place movies.
Yeah, here's an example, and most of A24 stuff.
Yeah, that too. Oh, man. I love A24. Shit, we should have talked about The Witch for Halloween. Anyway. But you know what? I since we're kind of early here, I also wanted to talk about some other stuff real quick before we get off, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep talking about other movies, newer movies or whatever.
I actually just mainly wanted to talk about Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man movie.
There are a few other movies that, like, I do want to, like, point out. But, yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, let's talk about that shit first.
I don't know if I want to talk about it first. You want to talk about the Eternals first? Because I that also comes to mind.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, apparently this is Marvel's lowest rated movie, apparently.
Yeah.
At least the MCU, anyway, not Marvel's lowest rated film. That's probably Fantastic. But, apparently it's the lowest MCU movie, which that's shocking, because I'm like, I thought Dark World and Iron Man 3 would have gotten worse reviews, because everyone hates those movies. I hate the Dark World. I think Iron Man 3 is an underrated movie. But the Eternals.
Yeah, it's currently at a 60%, close to like a 59%, which I'm like shocked by. A lot of people are like crediting it from the reviews I've read so far. A lot of people are crediting Chloe Zhao, the director, for it not feeling like an MCU movie. It feels like a different movie.
Yeah, which is kind of my only reason why I might be interested in seeing it. Not that I don't mind regular MCU movies, but hey, I like things that do things different. So, sue me. But, yeah, I mean, the Eternals looks good.
Yeah, I'm still like, I don't know anything about the source material, but
I don't either. I just know they were created by Jack Kirby, and that Neil Gaiman made like a series a while back of them. But aside from that, I don't know shit about these characters.
Me either. But, the cast, the director, I'm still gonna go see it.
Yeah. Good year for MCU movies as well. I mean, Black Widow was pretty mediocre, but Shang-Chi was amazing. Like,
oh yeah,
I mean, we already talked about it in episode 2, but that movie blew me the fuck away. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was.
Oh yeah, it's in my top 5 MCU movies of all time. I just love that movie.
Oh my god. It's probably in my top 5 too. It's like, God, this is such a great film.
Oh yeah, and No Way Home looks very, very promising.
Oh my god. I mean, we'll get to that in a second. God, what's another? But yeah, Eternals. Carlton actually seemed interested in, or not interested. He sees most MCU movies. But he actually seemed excited about it because he's always like, oh, the humor. And I'm all like, dude, whatever. But he seemed interested in the Eternals, and I'm like, you know what? I might check out the Eternals, even though I've never heard of the. It's not that I've never heard of them, but I don't know that much about them. But it looks fine.
Yeah.
Apparently, Harry Styles is going to be in it.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. But yeah, the trailers didn't really impress me that much. Didn't like blow me away. Sort of like Shang-Chi, but I saw that movie and it turned out to be way better than I thought it'd be. So I'm still gonna go see it.
Yeah.
I hope it. I love the director Chloe Zhao. Her excellent movie Nomadland. So yeah.
I still need to see that. I heard it's good.
It is good. I love it. I love that movie.
I like Frances McDormand too. She was great in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Oh yeah. Excellent movie.
Another one I wanted to talk about. But yeah, Martin McDowell usually makes good movies. But yeah, this movie just looks weird. Or not weird, but the Eternals just kind of. When I saw the trailers, just this like it's like an art house filmmaker decided to take a crack at making a Marvel movie. It's weird.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
It's like if Denis Villeneuve took a shot at making a Marvel movie. Even though he's not really that interested in Marvel movies, but that's what I thought when I first saw it. I'm like, huh, okay. It looks well shot.
It definitely looks different, and the visuals look great. I love the cast.
Yeah, the cast looks really good. It has that Indian guy from The Big Sick, which I saw a while back. Also another movie that was way better than I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah. Kumail Nanjiani. Yeah, I forget his name, but really good actor and hilarious comedian. But yeah, I agree with you. Big Sick, I thought, was way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I always look at him in movies. He just looks like that guy who was in high school. He's like that guy who got shoved into the lockers in high school.
Yeah, but not anymore because
he's
really
all bulked up now. Yeah, I saw that. That was so funny. I'm like, dude, I gotta figure out how to get your diet, man. Because I'm like, I heard there's some people like, oh, he's using steroids. That's bullshit. But I gotta figure out that diet, man. Call me.
Yeah, but you're fucking ripped. Like, you really want to offer this one role in the Eternals.
He's like, I'm not getting shoved in this is so bad, I'm so sorry. But he's like, I'm not getting shoved in, this isn't what he sounds like. He's like, I'm not getting shoved in the lockers anymore, ha ha ha, yeah. I'm so sorry. That was so bad. I'm sorry, India, if, Ari, you ever watch this, I'm so sorry. But, also, Angelina Jolie is in it, and you're like, wow, she's finally in a Marvel movie. I thought she's like in that state in her career where she's like, I'm just going to jump on anything, and I'm just going to say fuck it and make it. Like, I'm surprised she hasn't been in an MCU movie yet.
I'm just going to do whatever I want.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like in that Jack Nicholson part of her career where he's just like, fuck it, I can do whatever I want, and just kind of goes with it. It's
just kind of rolls with it. I'm doing whatever role that I'm interested in.
Basically, yeah. She's like, you know what? This looks fun. I'm just going to do it. Or that Willem Dafoe kind of part of her career. Except, not as, like, consistently great movies.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe where he's like, I'll do anything. Like, I'll play Green Goblin. I'll play a psycho in the Lighthouse. Like, I'm willing to do anything. I'll be an Aquaman.
Oh, I can't wait for when we discuss The Lighthouse, because I'll just be doing all my Willem Dafoe impressions from that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, that might be 3 hours.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe in that film, he has definitely made a lot of memorable lines.
Oh, my God. He gets the great lines out of that movie. Oh, yeah, speaking of that, The Northman's coming out in April of next year. That's probably, like, my second most anticipated movie, aside from, like, The Batman.
Oh, mine too.
Because Robert Eggers, he's made 2 great films. I'm really excited to see him take on, like, a Icelandic, Bergman-esque adventure film.
Oh, yeah. It definitely does give me Bergman vibes, which is what I like.
Oh, yeah. I've only seen one of his movies, so... but I've only seen The Seventh Seal, which is a great movie. But, yeah. But, Spider-Man, we got some more news from No Way Home that, Thomas Hayden Church and Rhys Ifan is coming back as Sandman and the Lizard, respectively. And,
hell yeah.
I told you about that. I was actually reapplying for my old job, and, I texted him. I saw it on the news. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. So I just texted Jacob. I'm like, dude, they got him. It's confirmed. We're good. I'm happy.
Yeah. You know what? Like, people can say what they want about Spider-Man 3, but I fucking love Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman in that film.
Oh my God, he was amazing.
Perfect.
Oh man, yeah, he's great. Hell, well. I don't think we can make all of them in time. But anyway. But yeah, I agree. I think Thomas Hayden Church was one of the best parts of Spider-Man 3.
Oh, for sure.
Just like
I loved him.
Like that scene where Peter like forgives him for killing Uncle Ben. Like that's one of the most moving things I've ever seen. Like that holds up really well.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like that scene still gets me every time. Like it really like hits me in an emotional level.
Yeah, just like it hits you in the hit you, you know.
Yeah.
And
Thomas acting excellent.
And it's like Spider-Man 3 isn't a terrible film, Like,
no.
It just had a lot of shit going on, and it just didn't work as well as the first two did.
No. It definitely has its moments. It's, like you said, it's not a terrible movie. It's not a Batman v Superman or a Fan Four Stick.
Oh, God.
I just find it crushingly mediocre.
Yeah, it's just underwhelming. But I can't wait to see him go back to be the character of Sandman. I hope he gets a better script this time. In all honesty, I wish Spider-Man 3 was just the whole Sandman arc, and it was just about Peter forgiving. Maybe just, have him and Harry, and then Peter, and I think it could have, worked way better, but that's just me.
Yeah, just get rid of Topher Grace's Venom, and, it would have been better.
Yeah, I think so, because, all the stuff had been building up, Peter and Harry, and then, have Sandman, and then had that have been Spider-Man 3, I think it would have been a way better movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, I'm excited for his return in No Way Home.
Yeah, I hope he gets a better script this time. Rhys Ifans, definitely, as well, because he was in The Amazing Spider-Man, which is, really underwhelming, and just, hey, you want to see us waste talent? There you go. Thanks, Sony.
We'll waste talent, and we'll waste a pretty good director. Yeah, we'll make it a shit show. Another convoluted movie.
We'll make it another shit show. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, so... Rhys Ifans is coming back as the Lizard. Yeah, I forgot.
And same with Jamie Foxx. I hope he's better in this one, because he wasn't terrible in the first one. He just had a bad script and direction, just like with Jamie Foxx in the second one.
And I'm like, I knew I saw Sandman, and I knew I saw Sandman and the Lizard in that trailer for No Way Home.
Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's Sandman, and I see a bit of Lizard, and yeah, they're coming back.
And I'm like, hell yes, bro. And, I mean, of course, J.K. Simmons is coming back as J. Jonah Jameson, and you're like, yes, buddy.
Yeah.
And,
no one else can J. Jonah Jameson. He is J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, it's just oh, man. I'm like, oh man, I love him as a character. That's, you want to talk about greatest casting of all time? J.K. Simmons is J. Jonah Jameson. Just,
yeah, he's perfect. Easily, in my opinion, top 5 casting choices of all time.
Oh yeah, and definitely Also, we got to look at the Green Goblin suit, apparently. I'll say that with a grain of salt, because I tend to be really skeptical of leaks, as they call them. But, yes, apparently we did get a look at the Green Goblin suit, so.
And if it is real, then, actually, it looks pretty cool. It looks like the same one from the first, except a bit more modern. A few changes here and there.
It's not as Power Ranger-y, even though I didn't really mind the Green Goblin suit in the first Spider-Man movie. I mean, it's a goddamn comic book movie. It's kind of supposed to be goofy, but I digress.
Exactly. It was better than Dane DeHaan with face herpes.
to quote the great Chris Stuckman.
Yeah, Chris Stuckman quote. Great line, buddy. That was an amazing line. And it's so true.
And, of course, Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina are coming back, and I can't wait to see this. And they're still cock-teasing us with Tobey and Andrew coming back as Spider-Man again. Which they better have them, because I swear to God, if they just have all the villains... Which that would be great if they had all the villains come back. That's great. But if they do not have Tobey and Andrew come back, I'm going to be at least a little disappointed.
Oh, yeah. I think, most people are going to be fucking disappointed. They've been cock-teasing us, and we've had all of these leaks, and there's been a recent one where they have all the 3 suits in one room. Yeah, if they don't have them in the movie, then fuck you guys. Even if the movie's great.
Sincerely, the Spider-Man fan base.
Exactly. Like, you've been dangling now for the past year or so.
Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, it's just like we're getting. It's like this is like the greatest hit Spider-Man, like of the live-action Spider-Man movie. So I'm hoping it's really good.
Oh, me too. Like, there's a lot that's like going on. Like, we got the whole multiverse situation. We got original villains coming back, and we got Peter dealing with his identity crisis.
Oh yeah. Also, they might do One More Day, which I hope they don't. Please don't. Like, I don't want them doing not No Way Home. One More Day, because that story sucked. Please don't do it. Don't do it, Spider-Man. But yeah. So, but yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. That's probably like my most anticipated movie for like the rest of the year.
Oh, mine too.
Like this shit better be like the best shit ever.
Yeah, it better be good.
Like, I don't want to hype it too much, but I'm excited for it. Like, I want to see this movie. I want it to be good.
Yeah.
And the MCU Spider-Man movies have been good so far, but, you know.
I was just about to say that. Like, I've liked the MCU Spider-Man movies so far, so this one, it better be good.
I'm like, you know, so it should be fine, but, you know, I really want it to be, like, good.
Yeah.
And again, also, apparently, John Watts is making the Spider-Man movies, is making the next Fantastic Four movie, which, again, please, dear God, be good.
Yeah, give us a good Fantastic Four movie, because the last one, what the fuck were you guys thinking?
Oh, man, when we get the Fant Four Stick and, like, Fantastic Four season, whenever that's gonna happen, oh my God, I mean... Think of how any movie could go wrong. Studio interference. Cast doesn't give a shit. No one understands the source material or whatever could go wrong in this movie. That movie is basically the Murphy's Law of films, where just anything that could go wrong in a movie just went wrong. But that's another subject for another time.
God, yeah, I don't want to get into Fan Four Stick. I don't want to get angry right now.
But, John Watts, you've made some pretty good Spider-Man movies, so I trust you, but make a good Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, I trust you, John Watts, because you did a pretty good job with the Spider-Man movies so far.
Don't let me down. Please.
Do good with this movie.
But, yeah, it's just... It should be a good movie. I hope. I hope it's a good movie. It should be. It looks promising. Trailer was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely when Alfred Molina showed up and just said, "Hello, Peter," I was like,
Nerdgasm.
Yeah, I'm like, that's one of those. I'm about to jump out the window, just like action movie style. No, but no, that was awesome. I hope that Jamie Foxx isn't, like, blue this time, because his design in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is kind of dumb.
No. Oh, yeah. It really reminded me of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mr. Freeze in the worst way possible.
Batman and Robin. There's, like, the unholy trinity of bad superhero movies. It's Batman and Robin, Fant Four Stick, and... I can't even think of the... Probably Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I don't know. I don't even think the Amazing Spider-Man 2's... It's not the worst thing ever, but it's not good either.
I hate Amazing Spider-Man 2. I fucking loathe that movie. And I loathe Green Lantern as well.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Green Lantern. I totally forgot about that movie. Like, everyone hates it, but I saw it when I was, like, 10, and I was like, oh, this is cool! And then, like... bunch of years later, I'm like, this is dumb. I can't even hate it. It's just stupid.
That's why I hate it, because it's just, like, stupid, but all in the wrong ways. And I'm actually a pretty big Green Lantern fan. I was expecting way more out of that movie. And Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I also loathe, as I said before.
But yeah, the first Amazing Spider-Man wasn't even really that good.
No. It sucked. It sucked. The first one sucked. The second one was...
even worse. I'm not saying The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a good movie by any means. It's not like, I'm not saying it's like an underappreciated classic or anything. But it's not a good movie. Let me just get that out of the way. Anyone who is listening, Amazing Spider-Man 2, not a good movie.
No.
But it had some good moments, I thought. There were some good moments.
The costume is my favorite part, but that's pretty much it. But I watched Chris Stuckman's review on it, and I was like, man, all of these things that are these idiotic things that don't make sense. How come I didn't see this before? Because back then I was kind of in denial on how like not good it was. I was like, it's
Phantom Menacing.
good. Yeah, pretty much Phantom Menacing. I was like, it's pretty good. I think it's better than the first. More action. Spidey suit's amazing. Jamie Foxx is actually pretty good as Electro. Blah blah blah. And then I rewatched it multiple times, and I was like, yeah, this movie's shit.
Yeah, that when I saw the trailer, I think, and I was like, this movie looks not good. So I didn't even see it. I saw it later. Wasn't good. Plot was all over the place. It's like story was all over the place. Nothing made sense. Spider-Man's mask looked like a basketball. It's like, again, another Chris Stuckman quote for you. But it was just stupid. Dane DeHaan overacts, he underacts, and he starts overacting as the Green Goblin. It's terrible. Just a terrible movie. Now I realize why I didn't like it. It's just stupid.
It really is. It's beyond terrible. It's even more convoluted and even more like idiotic than the first one.
Oh my god! All right. I was just. I was about to say I was thinking about saving some of these sentiments for when we ever get to Spider-Man, but yeah. But No Way Home. I hope this is. I hope all the villains from before get a better script. Aside from Alfred Molina, because I think Spider-Man 2 is the greatest Spider-Man movie ever. Aside from Into the Spider-Verse. That and Into the Spider-Verse, that rivals for my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. But aside from that, I hope everyone gets a better script in this movie. That's my main concern.
Oh yeah,
because they're juggling a lot of characters.
Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe if he returns.
Yeah, because I saw on the Wikipedia page they said he was on it, and then they took his name off, and it said that Willem Dafoe was coming back, and now they're kind of backtracking. It's so weird. Like, this movie's just weird.
Yeah, I'm not trusting any of the leaks or, like, fan theories. I just want to see the movie and see if it happens.
I mean, it has been confirmed Thomas Hayden Church and Risa fans are coming back. I think that's been confirmed.
Yeah, because it was leaked on, like, an Empire magazine.
Yeah. Hold on here. What the fuck? Oh, it's born at the same time my mom was. Let's see. The only ones who've been, like, confirmed has probably been, Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx. Which, yeah. I hope Jamie Foxx really chews that scenery, because in the last movie he was kind of like this dweeb. Which he didn't do a bad job, but I just thought he had shitty scripting. And he can play a bad guy, because, there's Baby Driver. Another great movie.
Mm-hmm. And he's a great actor, too.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I mean, Ray is, that's like Carlton's favorite movie, but I love that movie, too. He's so good in it.
Mm-hmm. And Collateral, and, he was in, he's a great actor, and he's mostly choosing really good movies.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Amazing Spider-Man 2 was one of those movies, like, either A, his kids were, like, really into it, so he's like, I'll take it because of that. Or maybe he just wanted to have a good time, like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I want to try something that's fun. And he just chose the wrong movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Willem Dafoe, except he got screwed.
Oh, yeah. That's basically the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Just everyone gets fucked.
Yeah, just our little verdicts. And Britton, as you can tell, I'm having a lot of fun discussing that movie, especially Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, my God. I guess we can get to this. Now I've got some ideas for our next episode. Our next episodes, anyway. But, so since it's my turn to choose, because Quiet Place Part 2 was Jacob's choice this week. Quiet Place was mine, then it's his, and it's mine again. So, yeah, I guess we'll finish that up here. But yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home looks good.
It does.
I'm intrigued to see it. I'm intrigued to talk about it. This, for me, I think this is the movie that's either going to make or break the MCU. Or not the MCU, but MCU Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because John Watts has said that this is basically Spider-Man Endgame.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he mentioned that. But yeah, he basically said, you know how Endgame was just ridiculous and epic? Yeah, this is the version for Spider-Man. And like I said, yeah. This seems like it's going to be like, this is going to be either a make it or break it. This is either going to be phenomenal or it's going to be awful. Like, there is no in-between for this movie.
No in-between.
At least I don't think so. I also hope they change Jamie Foxx's design for Electro. I heard they are going to, but I don't like his like blue Dr. Manhattan-esque design. It just looks weird.
Even I defended that when I was Phantom Menacing that, and I regret defending that shit.
Like, it's not like terrible, but it's like it looks weird.
Yeah, it just doesn't work in live action. There are a few things that could work in live action, and there are others that can't.
Like, I mean, if you took like the design of Electro from the Spider-Man game, there you go. Like, you got it right there.
I think Jamie Foxx even confirmed that he won't be blue because, like, he posted an Instagram and then immediately deleted it.
Oh, well, okay, that's good. I'm like, hey, if you like take a note from like the Spider-Man game and just make Electro look like that, I think it'll be fine.
Yes, because that design was perfect in my opinion.
Yeah, that design was fine. It's not like the pure energy like from like Spectacular Spider-Man, which is also a really great Spider-Man adaptation. You know, we Spider-Man fans, it's like Batman fans. We're just really spoiled with great adaptations of Spider-Man, for the most part.
We are. We really are.
I mean, Amazing Spider-Man movies kind of sucked, but aside from that, we've been pretty fortunate to get a lot of great movies.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man's my second favorite superhero. I think Spider-Man's Jacob's first favorite. I think he's your favorite of all time. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah. Nope, you're right. My favorite, then number 2.
But yeah. I'll be right back. Keep them busy. Again.
Alright.
Talk about Spider-Man or something.
Britton's off once again. I don't know where he went. Let's talk about, there's actually this one movie that I completely forgot about. It's a new Wes Anderson movie called The French Dispatch. That actually looks pretty good. As I said, I forgot about the movie. I don't even know what the movie's about. I'm like, Wes Anderson, most of the shit that he's put out, I fucking love. Fantastic Mr. Fox, one of my favorite anime movies of all time. Isle of Dogs, enjoyed that way more than I thought I would. And what else? Oh, yeah, The Grand Budapest Hotel, I thought was excellent. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited for The French Dispatch. Looks pretty good.
All right, I'm back again. My cousins were trick-or-treating.
Okay.
They're like, trick-or-treat! And I'm like, okay, here's some candy.
Trick-or-treat! Now leave me the fuck alone. I'm busy.
I'm probably just going to sit back and watch Avatar and then just, like, give out candy after this episode's over.
No, I was just talking about a new Wes Anderson movie that I forgot about, The French Dispatch.
Oh, shit, I totally forgot about that movie. Yeah, I'm not a big Wes Anderson fan. It's weird, because I've only seen one of his movies, which is Fantastic Mr. Fox, and I love that movie.
Oh, yeah. Adore that movie.
It's, like, that movie's hilarious. Like, I love that movie, and I've heard all of his other movies are pretty similar to that, except it's not in stop-motion animation. And also, I love stop-motion animation, so I'm kind of biased towards that. But, Yeah. So, wait, you were talking... Now I just lost track again of what we were talking about.
Oh, the French Dispatch.
Oh, French Dispatch. Star-studded cast, again. Just, like, so many great actors in one movie. Like, Timothy Chalamet, Tilda Swinton, Willem Dafoe, I think, is in it. Jeffrey Wright, Owen Wilson, Bill Murray, you know, Frances McDormand, Lea Seydoux, Adrian Brody, Benicio del Toro. Like, it's...
A-list cast.
Oh, yeah. Like, they got the all-stars in there.
I haven't seen a lot of Wes Anderson movies. I've only seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Grand Budapest Hotel, and Isle of Dogs, which all of them I really enjoyed. Fantastic Mr. Fox, I agree with you. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's like... I
thought it was excellent.
Oh, yeah, it's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. And Isle of Dogs, I actually still really like.
I need to see that. Like I said, I've only seen one movie of Wes Anderson's, which, I know, I'm sorry, everyone, I haven't seen it. Not that I'm against, like, Wes Anderson movies. Like I said, the one movie I have seen from him I really love. I just haven't gotten around to seeing any of his movies yet. Which will probably shock my parents, because they'll be like, oh, have you seen the Grand Budapest Hotel? No. And then they'll start like going like, oh, you haven't seen that movie? You've seen everything. I'm like, not everything, my friend.
Nope, not everything.
But, yeah. So I think I'll end the episode there. The French Dispatch does look interesting. Looks like a Wes Anderson movie.
Definitely, for sure.
So for next week, it's my choice this next week, so, I'm kind of stuck, because I want to do a guest episode, but I also want to start talking about Spider-Man in preparation for, Spider-Man No Way Home. Starting with the first Raimi movie, so I was thinking either Whiplash, and we get Tig on, because he loves that movie, or the first Raimi Spider-Man movie. Like, I mean, what do you think? This is like the deal breaker. What do you think sounds more interesting to you?
Yeah, I'm torn as well, because, like, I do want to bring, I would love to discuss Whiplash, because I adore that movie, and bring Tig on there for a special guest. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, we're into Spider-Man weekend. No Way Home's getting pretty close. I don't know. I'm torn.
Damn.
As well.
You know, I think, damn, like, it's hard. They both have J.K. Simmons in it.
They do. Which is how ironic.
I don't know. I think Spider-Man seems more appropriate, because, you know, Spider-Man No Way Home. We're probably not going to talk about every single Spider-Man movie, since, you know... So I'm planning on the Spider-Man trilogy, and if we can't fit the Amazing Spider-Man movies, we can just talk about the MCU ones. And then after that, we can talk about the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yeah. If we're not... if we're not able to fit the Amazing Spider-Man films, then I'm perfectly happy with that, honestly. But yeah, if we're able to, then fine.
All right. So sorry, Ty. We'll do a guest spot at some point, but I think Spider-Man seems like the safer choice. Not that we don't have enough to talk about with Whiplash, because I mean, there's plenty to talk about with that movie, and it's also an excellent movie. My favorite film of 2014. Also just one of my favorite movies ever. But Spider-Man, I think, sounds more prudent. So how's Raimi Spider-Man, the first one, sound? We'll go on a Spider-thon.
Oh, yeah. I am ready.
Are you down, like, I'll pick Spider-Man 1, and then you do Spider-Man 2, and then we'll talk about Spider-Man 3, and then yada yada. And then we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah. This'll keep us occupied.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
And like you said, it's more appropriate, because we're close to No Way Home.
I mean, I think, and also there's also plenty to talk about with the Raimi Spider-Man movies, so, at least in my mind. I think we can get a good couple episodes out of it. Again, we didn't plan this very well, because, again, we're still starting out, but I think if we talk about Spider-Man, I think that could be a lot of fun.
Oh,
and
yeah,
also
sure.
just relives a part of my childhood, and I think it's Jacob's as well.
Mine too, especially the first one, which is like my signs, because Chris Stuckman, you know how much that movie has impacted him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Spider-Man, the Raimi Spider-Man movie, that's like one of the first movies I remember loving as a kid.
Oh, mine too. This and Shrek for me, but Spider-Man was like, oh man, it got me into movies, and now, of course, Spider-Man as a character.
Oh, yeah. Love Spider-Man, ladies and gentlemen. But, yeah, so I think Spider-Man is what we're going with. Hopefully Thanksgiving doesn't get in the way of our list. Not our list, but our schedule. But, I don't think so. Unless something comes up. But yeah, so we're going to be doing a Spider-thon. Yay. I'm excited. Jacob, what do you think? Are you...
Oh, do you even need to ask? I'm being excited.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man 2002 from Sam Raimi. Should be fun. So yes, this has been it. Any final thoughts about Quiet Place before we go? Quiet Place Part 2?
As I said, excellent movie. Just as nerve-wracking and just as heart-pumping as the first. I like this one a tad bit more, but they're pretty much like exactly like on the same level of like entertainment for me. Performances once again top notch. John Krasinski masterfully directs this movie really damn well. There wasn't a scene for me that dragged. It fell short of his runtime, and just a great sequel. One of the better horror movies.
You said it quite beautifully, my friend. I mean, yeah, great movie. This was our Halloween special. Happy Halloween, everyone. And also, before I leave, I know this is going on a little long, but we've noticed that you guys have been stacking the views on our videos, and we just want to say thank you. Or at least I did. I talked about it with Jacob. I'm like, we gotta mention it at some point. But yeah. Thank you so much. I know some people might be like, oh well, 500 ain't that much, but it's like a lot for us. So thank you so much to everyone who's been watching.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. I mean, I wasn't expecting to get like 500 views right off the bat. I thought like maybe 100 at best. But no, we've gotten like 500 on The Green Knight and like 300 and so on Shang-Chi and so on. So yeah, again, thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it. And keep sending the love. And share it around with your friends if you want.
Show us some love.
Yeah, exactly. And, Doug, if you watched this long, sorry we can't get you on just yet. I do want to do a guest episode at some point, but, again, I think Spider-Man seems a little more prudent at the moment, so...
Oh, yeah. And if you don't mind, I do have, like, a couple of friends that would love to bring on as guests down the road.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great, too. I mean, I don't want it to just be me who brings on guests. Yeah, get some guests, man. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If we ever do talk about, like, the Iron Man movies, I would love to bring my buddy Jordan on there because he's a huge Iron Man fan.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'd love to talk about the Iron Man movies, especially 3, because I think 3 is a really interesting movie.
It is. I like it. I don't care.
Yeah, but, yeah, so we're going to be talking about Spider-Man next week. Should be a lot of fun for me and Jacob. I definitely will be having a good time talking about Spider-Man 2. Well, not Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man. Damn it. Yeah, so, Spider-Man. We're going to do it. I wasn't sure, but now I'm sure. We're going to do it. It's going to be fun. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Hail to the yeah, I'm excited.
All right. So, yep. I've been Britton.
And I've been Jacob.
And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.